They're often called dirty snowballs, but some of them are truly colossal. What if Comet C 2019 Y4, better known as Comet Atlas, hadn't disintegrated and had instead set a course straight for Earth? First, a little background on our celestial guest. Comet Atlas was discovered in late 2019 by the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, or ATLAS, in Hawaii. For a while, it was the talk of the astronomical world. It was brightening incredibly fast, and astronomers were getting excited. Some even hoped it would become a great comet visible to the naked eye, a spectacular sight in our night sky. But initial estimates of its size were huge, with some suggesting its core could be several kilometers across. But then, just as our hopes were getting high, something dramatic happened. In early 2020, as it got closer to the Sun, the Hubble Space Telescope caught it in the act of breaking apart. It crumbled into dozens of smaller pieces, its brief moment of glory fading away. But what if it hadn't? What if Comet Atlas had held together a solid, massive object, and its trajectory was aimed directly at us? Let's imagine this alternate reality. The first sign of trouble wouldn't be a secret. Every observatory on the planet, professional and amateur alike, would confirm the same terrifying fact. A massive comet is on a collision course with Earth. The news would spread like wildfire. Global agencies would convene emergency meetings. We'd have some time to prepare, perhaps months, or even a year, depending on when its trajectory was confirmed. But the question is, what could we actually do? This isn't a Hollywood movie where a team of heroes can just fly up and blow it up. Breaking up a comet is tricky. As we saw with the real Atlas, they can be fragile. But a fragmentation mission could be a double-edged sword. Instead of one giant impact, we might face a shotgun blast of smaller but still city-destroying fragments hitting multiple locations. The more likely strategy would be a deflection mission. We might try to send a spacecraft, or several, to collide with the comet. Not to destroy it, but to act like a cosmic billiard ball, giving it a tiny nudge. Over the vast distances of space, that tiny nudge could be enough to alter its course, just enough to miss Earth entirely. But the success of such a mission would depend on how much warning we had, the comet's exact size and mass, and our technological readiness. It would be the most ambitious and high-stakes space mission in human history. But let's assume the worst for our scenario. Let's say our deflection attempts fail, or we don't have enough time. The day of impact arrives. Where it hits would make all the difference. Scenario 1, an ocean impact. This is the more likely scenario, since over 70% of our planet is covered by water. But don't breathe a sigh of relief just yet. A comet several kilometers wide hitting the ocean would be catastrophic. The impact would vaporize a tremendous amount of water and carve out a massive temporary crater in the ocean floor. This would trigger a mega tsunami of unimaginable scale. We're not talking about waves that are tens of meters high. We're talking about waves that could be hundreds of meters high, traveling at the speed of a jetliner across the ocean basin. Coastal cities, even those thousands of kilometers from the impact site, would be completely inundated. The devastation along every coastline in that ocean would be absolute. The sheer force of the impact would also blast a massive plume of water vapor, salt, and pulverized rock high into the atmosphere. This would have immediate and drastic effects on global weather patterns. Scenario 2, a land impact. This is the scenario that often comes to mind when we think of asteroid or comet strikes. The result, utter annihilation at ground zero. The impact site would become a crater many times the size of the comet itself. Everything within a radius of hundreds, perhaps thousands, of kilometers would be instantly vaporized by the sheer energy released an explosion, dwarfing all nuclear weapons on Earth combined. A searing blast wave would radiate outwards, flattening forests and cities. Earthquakes of unprecedented magnitude would ripple across the continent, triggering volcanic eruptions worldwide. The sky would darken as an enormous cloud of dust, soot and debris is thrown into the stratosphere. And this is where the long-term global effects begin, regardless of whether it hits land or sea. This ejected debris would block out the sun. Not for a day or a week, but for months, maybe even years. This is what's known as an impact winter. Without sunlight, global temperatures would plummet. Photosynthesis would grind to a halt, plants would wither and die, and the entire food chain would collapse. Agriculture would fail worldwide, leading to mass famine. It's a scenario eerily similar to what scientists believe happened to the dinosaurs 66 million years ago. Humanity would be pushed to the brink. Survival would depend on our ability to cooperate and adapt on a global scale. We would have to rely on stored food, find alternative energy sources, and likely move underground into shelters to survive the initial chaos and the subsequent deep freeze. The world as we know it, our interconnected, global civilization would cease to exist. The recovery would be a monumental task, taking generations, if not centuries. New societies would have to be built from the ashes of the old. In a world with a fundamentally altered climate and ecosystem, it's a terrifying thought, isn't it? But here's the good news. What we just discussed is a what if. The real Comet Atlas fell apart and posed no threat. And more importantly, scenarios like this are incredibly rare. Plus, we have people looking out for us. Programs like ATLA's, the very system that found this comet, are constantly scanning the skies. NASA and other space agencies are actively tracking near-Earth objects. Their goal is to find any potential threats decades in advance, giving us plenty of time to plan and execute a deflection mission. So, while it's fascinating to explore these dramatic possibilities, we don't need to lose sleep over them. The universe is a vast and dynamic place, but we are becoming more and more capable of understanding and navigating our place within it. The story of Comet Atlas isn't one of doom, but a reminder of the incredible forces at play in our solar system and the importance of scientific vigilance. Keep looking up, stay curious, and appreciate the beautiful, stable world we have. Thanks for joining me on this cosmic journey today. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more mind-bending what-if scenarios, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let us know in the comments what cosmic question you'd like us to tackle next. Until then, stay safe and keep exploring.